Welcome back. And I've been following the Ripple case and Ripple as a whole for nearly 4 years now. And this week, we finally got something I thought would take absolute years to happen. And that is that the SEC has removed Ripple's bad actor label. And yet, here I am, excited. I'm also hesitant. And honestly, I feel a little sick to my stomach because we are in completely uncharted territory with Ripple and XRP. And what happens next could be everything or it could be nothing at all. And so let's just start with what happened. The SEC granted Ripple a waiver under Rule 506D, which removes the bad actor label that they've been carrying since Judge Torres ruled that $728 million in institutional XRP sales were unregistered securities. This waiver that the SEC submitted, which happened just one day after both the SEC and Ripple dropped their cross appeals, and the case was officially closed. The label of bad actor has blocked Ripple from raising private capital for nearly 5 years, which is a huge roadblock. And with this waiver, they can now tap into accredited investors like hedge funds, venture capitalists, even strategic partners to raise money quickly and without the cost and delays of full SEC registration. So, why all this matters? Well, Ripple can now tap into deep pocket backers like hedge funds, venture capitalists, and strategic corporate investors, like I just said. And the funding, which is the most important part, the funding that they get from these places could be used to fuel RLUSD, which is Ripple's stablecoin expansion. Also, it could be used for U.S. banking license process and building of banking systems. It could be used for more acquisitions for custody, tokenization, and liquidity, and building XRP ledger infrastructure for real world asset adoption. And as we've gone over multiple times, Ripple has already shown itself as a company that is deeply committed to growing itself and spreading and acquiring more businesses that support its vision. And so I think with more money behind them, we'll only see more of these strategic partnerships and strategic acquisitions occurring. So, what hasn't changed? Because all of this, it took me a lot of research to kind of wrap my head around what does this actually mean? So, institutional XRP sales are still regulated as securities, and Ripple can't just bulk sell XRP to banks or funds without following security laws that are already in place. The lawsuit may be over, but the ruling shapes how Ripple can operate within the United States. As I said, I've followed this case for many years and Ripple's journey alongside it. And I definitely believe that adoption and clear regulation would eventually come. And now we're here. And it feels strange to celebrate, if I'm completely honest. The waiver is huge, but it's not the slam dunk that I was hoping we'd have, or probably many people were hoping we'd have. It's definitely a green light in the right direction, but the road ahead is still foggy, and we are in completely uncharted territory. And what I mean by this is Ripple and XRP have not lived through a complete bull run yet with this much regulatory certainty, and at a time when institutions and all the way to the White House are pushing for this technology that Ripple has to be more used, and they're pushing for a mass adoption. And so I think it creates quite an interesting scenario that I don't think any token has seen before. So what happens next? I hope a lot of things, but to be realistic, in the next few weeks, we could see an XRP ETF approval decision in the United States, which many firms have applied for. ETFs are already live in Korea and also in Brazil, but we could see those in the United States. Also, Ripple's U.S. banking license acceptance of the application they filed to become a bank and operate with the Fed directly. We could hear about that in the next coming weeks, months, up to a year. Big partnership announcements could also come out very soon with big investment firms or capital assets or people that move money, our businesses that move money could come out and say that they are using this technology now that there's legal clarity. Also, possible interest rates cuts, making capital flow easier, could occur in the next few weeks and months. And here's the reality, to be honest: nothing might change for years, which is a very tough pill for me to swallow. Or everything could shift in just a couple days. And where does that leave us? The lawsuit's behind us, the Capitol doors are open, and now the real test begins. For years, I've been one of the people saying that when the lawsuit is over, Ripple will have the wings to spread and fly and do what they were meant to do. Well, the lawsuit is over, and now we have the opportunity to actually see something that has never been seen in the crypto arena. And what I think we might see is that we have regulatory clarity, institutional and retail excitement for this technology, all paired alongside deep utility, meaning there's deep purpose in the real world for the technology and how we move money going forward. So I'll be tracking every move, and I invite you to come back and explore these moments with me, because I think the next chapter of this story is just beginning. And I am so happy to do another episode with you. And please join me tomorrow. And again, if you have any questions, comments, feedback, curiosity, leave it in the comments, or also like and subscribe. And again, none of this is financial advice. It's literally just a conversation about something that I think will change the world. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.